I'm Emma Hossack, and I think I have probably one of the best jobs in Australia. I have 3 software companies. One of them is a shared electronic health record company called Extensia. One of them is an Australian version of a Dropbox company called eDocs, and one of them is Barweb, which is an ISP and general software assistance and development. I also am the president of the International Association of Privacy Professionals, which is fascinating, a network of over 20,000 privacy-aware people around the world, and I'm the vice president of the Medical Software Industry Association of Australia. The top three or four considerations for SMEs when considering online security and tips to assist them would probably be, firstly, for them to take responsibility for their systems. That means having secure, trusted partners to look after their systems. Number 2, I'd probably say is plan ahead. Do what they call a privacy impact assessment on your business now, before it happens. In Australia, we have breaches happening every day throughout business. Now people are aware of that. Over 80% of Australians, so your customers, will be aware of the new legislation and they may take issue with it. So plan ahead for breaches, and by that, privacy impact assessment can be a tool which you'll find on the Office of Australian Information Commission website. They've got a guideline how to do it, well worth doing. Treat it like a fire drill, but a fire drill for your information. Probably thirdly, I would say make sure that you have a trusted software system. You have systems which are regularly patched. Don't use open source as a default. Make sure that you can put your hand on your chest when asked by perhaps the Privacy Commissioner that you have used systems which are secure, are supported and patched regularly. That'd probably be the top 3. And I think also treat your information of your customers like an asset, as though it's on your balance sheet, and audit it. So make sure you know what information you've got, and the more sensitive it is, make sure that you protect it appropriately. The social media is so prevalent now, it's very convenient, and we often forget that whilst it's convenient and exciting and compelling to start with all of your colleagues and associates, sometimes in error you can post photos, not just of yourself, but of other people that might impact on your business, your work, your staff. And I think that those unintended consequences need to be looked at, and it's probably something cultural. It's something which, it's not just ticking off a box saying I'm complying with the Privacy Act. It's actually really showing your organisation why privacy is important. The impact of people having personal information go online essentially can end up in suicide. It can end up in people losing their jobs, humiliation, not being offered insurance. It can be catastrophic. So I think that it's really worthwhile making that cultural shift. Don't just treat privacy like another boring compliance task. I suppose that stolen devices are another one of those key risks that you have. If you allow your staff to have access to all of your systems on their mobile devices, you're going to have a problem when they lose them or their car is broken into. That's probably one of the most common ones, and suddenly your organisation has a major data breach on its hands. And it's not just online either. There's still an awful lot of paper that's happening. You see in doctors' surgeries, in banks even, almost every business that you deal with is still holding paper records that hold personal information. So again, it's got to be treated like an asset. You wouldn't walk down the street with your wallet hanging open. Well, you should treat your information about your clients the same way. Most privacy breaches come as a result of people. No matter how good your information systems and your security, you can still have really bad privacy. So for example, you think of a hospital or a bank, they've probably got great security, firewalls, really good systems happening inside the organisation, but their privacy is often not very good at all because they're sharing information without considering who it's going to, why it's going there, and what will happen if it goes to the wrong person. So great security doesn't mean great privacy at all. So you've got to educate your people and educate them so that they can work out for themselves what the information they're handling means if it escapes, how they can best manage that. Enable them with tools such as the Office of Australian Information Commissioner so that they can actually themselves work out how to do their job. Don't make it a regime which is strict and inflexible, or they'll find their way around it. What do? You want to enable flexibility of your workforce, but you're terrified terrified of having your very sensitive company or client information escape, our recommendation is to look at tools like a Australia-based Dropbox. That's one of my businesses, a small plug, but there are others as well. And what that means is that even if your staff member is using a mobile phone or a laptop, iPad, other device, if they lose that or it's stolen, the party who has access to that device will no longer be able to hack the password and enter it, because all of the information that they're accessing actually is in an encrypted cloud. So the party getting the device can have the device, use the device, but the most important and valuable part of that device is the access to the information, and you cut that nexus if you hold your information in the cloud. What has to be remembered is that technology is not a silver bullet to security and privacy. It's one of the things, but if you make it complicated and you don't bring your clients and your staff along the journey, you're going to leave them behind, and they will find other ways of accessing the information which is not secure or private. So in other words, having great systems and great technology isn't a silver bullet. You've got to bring along both your clients and your staff so that you can secure their information properly. Don't rely on your IT guy or your IT manager. You've got to actually have a cultural shift within your business.